Welcome, everybody. My name is Sierra Stewart, and I am here to share with you our monthly webinar for our referring partners and talking about how you can share Corefact and empower the people that you're sharing this tool with to just use the tool better and help them get more business. So today's topic is my client wants to know what's working. And I picked this one because this is what I hear from you all when I go and do meetings for you or you call in. This is the question I hear come up most often. What are the top postcards? What are the top agents doing? What gets the best results? These are the questions I hear you asking. So I thought it would be a perfect topic for a webinar, and we're going to get this done in under 20 minutes is the goal. So question number one they have is, what do I send? And we actually have a new tool for you, and we're talking about direct mail specifically. I'm going to share my screen here. We created this. It's available on your account. And if I go into, let me move this bar. Okay, this is our Jessica Sellers account, and you should be able to see my screen now. We're logged into Jessica, and if you want to use the Jessica Sellers demo account, you can use it by logging in using Jessica_Sellers and password Corefact, or we may have given you access under your account, or if you don't have this access, let us know and we will give you this access. But what I'm going to show you is this referring partner toolkit right here on the left-hand side under R. And in this area, you are going to have access to content that you can share. And a piece that we just added because you asked for it is the top 10 ordered postcards. So if we look at this piece right here, you can download this as a digital file and email it to someone that you're going to be meeting with. You can print it out if you want to order copies. We can print it for you. We're going to charge you if we do the printing, but you could just print it on your local printer. But what this is showing is what are the top cards being ordered in each of the top categories. And this one, this just listed card is the top card overall, but in each of the different sections, these are the top cards that are being ordered. So you can see, and this one is not a high resolution file, so I apologize for the kind of fuzziness of that, but the top estimate postcard, which I think is super interesting, this is the one where they can get their home's value, is not a map card, but it's a bright side card. And again, this is a lower quality just thumbnail, but this is the one. It says, what could your home fetch in this market? It's part of our bright side series featuring whimsical animals and cute little catchy phrases. So it is a home estimate card, but it doesn't have the map. Very interesting. So if you've been promoting the map cards, that may not be what your clients are looking for. They may prefer something that asks for a home estimate, but a little bit more clever. The top recipe card was a strawberry bliss salad, and recipe cards are still ordered. It's pretty interesting. We do still see a lot of those coming through the system. Some people have very strong opinions on their effectiveness, but I will say I have an eggnog recipe that I got from my realtor maybe 15 years ago. It's a fantastic, very boozy eggnog recipe, and I think about her every year when I make that eggnog. So there you go. Just a little story. Market update pieces, top bright side. But again, this is available for you in your account. You'll have access to this flyer. But what is our number one card of all time? What are top agents sending? Just listed cards, number one. Number two, just sold, right? So those are our top selling and what our top agents are sending out. When you have market activity, you promote it. That's how you get known. That's how people start to recognize you. That's how you prove that you're working in the really crazy market that we have right now. And you can also, I will mention this, it's not just the just listed and just sold, but if we go into our just listed and just sold category under postcards, you're going to see that they are also not just sending out one card per listing or sale, but multiple messages. And if we look at the top section here, you're going to see this is in the listed side, and we have this also in the sold side, multiple cards per listing. So these four headlines, coming soon, new listing, open house, and pending, could all be for the same property, but it's a different message and a different card. If you stagger these every 2 weeks or 3 weeks or what, however long that sales process is, all of a sudden you've created a campaign from one listing. One listing can be a campaign. And same thing on the sold side. If we look at the headlines over there that match this, we call this the landmark series. If we look over on this side, there's also the leader series here, listed and sold, now in escrow, another home sold, client testimonial. Now we've got 8. We've got a campaign of 8 from a single listing. So if they say, I only have a listing, I don't have anything to send out. Oh, no, you can use that listing multiple times. Okay, I'm a new agent. I don't have a listing. What do I send out? Well, we saw it. It was one of the categories on that top category section, and it is the market update series. So why do we love market updates, and why are these great for agents that don't have activity? Because it shows that they are in touch with the community. It's answering the question that all homeowners want to know. Their number one question: what is my home worth? What did their home sell for? Why do they care about the other home sold? Because it's, what is my home worth, right? It's all about me as a consumer when I'm a homeowner. What is my potential value for my home? Is it going up? Is it going down? What did their home sell for? They're compared to me because we have the same bedrooms, built the same time, whatever. These market update cards are super popular and one of our top selling cards. The home estimate card then would be the next popular card. And as we just saw, what we found interesting when we put that sheet together was it wasn't necessarily the map card that was the most popular. It was a bright side version. If I went forward, let me go back a step. So if we go into the home estimate section here, we see that maybe it's not our standard map card. Maybe we want to change it up a little bit. So that would be the next most popular card that we see being ordered after listing promotion and market updates would be a home estimate. And then following that, we talked about it briefly in the recipe section, but I would say something seasonal. So that would be maybe a 4th of July card, wishing greetings, something that just is of the season. So here we've got this patriotic popsicle. That could be a seasonal piece. That strawberry bliss recipe could be like a summer recipe. But the idea with the seasonal pieces is it's more like social media. It's keeping in touch. It's keeping present. Not necessarily talking about real estate, but it's just a touch. And if you look at our elite designs, you will see that we are sprinkling in seasonal pieces. We go back to our elite campaign here. You'll see in this elite campaign that we are sprinkling in some seasonal pieces. May your days be merry and bright. Have some thanks. I've got, the inside, live the American dream. All these things are more on the seasonal communication than always about a market update or a home estimate. So it is nice to sprinkle those in. So what are top agents doing? What's working? Number 1, promoting the listings if you have them. Number 2, if you don't have a listing, talk about what's happening in the environment. Number 3, throw out a home estimate. Number 4, seasonal. And the other thing that they're doing that's working is they're keeping consistent look and feel and branding to their pieces. So they are choosing one of our campaigns and sticking with it, or I'm showing the elite page right here. The elite page is great because it automatically builds that consistency for the agent. Why do we want consistency? It helps them get recognizability quicker so that month 1 to month 2, they look the same. They start to build that recognition. We've heard that marketing rule of 7, where it takes 7 touches before someone recognizes a brand. You can get to that more effectively and efficiently when the pieces are consistent. And if we go back to our section here, anything that is more of a campaign. So if we look at like the Bright Side series, for example, that is a popular series. There's a whole bunch in here, but it's building consistency. So if you were to send out a bunch of these, that's going to build consistency. Someone's going to be known as, the animal agent, if you will. There's also a series for, where is it? Oh, because I'm not in Postcards anymore. Recipes. That could be a series, right? Someone could send out recipe cards. It could be one about Well, there are some other ones in here, but you get the idea. Where as long as you're being consistent with what's being sent out, that's going to help with that recognizability sooner. Okay, next question is how often should you mail? How long should you mail for to get results? And how many pieces should you send? These kind of questions come up all the time. Okay, so NAR did a study and said that direct mail works most effectively after 12 months of consistency. 12 months is when you start building that awareness. And I'm not sure how they came up with those numbers, but as I mentioned before, that marketing rule of 7 has kind of been a long-standing rule in the world of marketing. And the idea, again, is the first card is an introduction and it's forgettable. You're just saying, "Hi, I'm Sierra. It's nice to meet you." The next question or the next time you're hitting them, you might build familiarity, but it really takes 7 touches before you became recognizable. And so I think somewhere between that 7 and 12 mark is where people start to believe, trust, and know that you're not going anywhere, you're established. They recognize the brand. They start to say, "Oh yeah, this person's working in the neighborhood." So really, if someone is going to sign up for to sending pieces out, we want to see them committing to multiple mailings, not just mailing one time. I did have someone that was starting out his career and he decided he was going to hit a condo complex and hit all 1,000 units and blow his entire marketing budget for direct mail for the year on one mailing. So he sent out 1,000 cards one time and said, no one replied, direct mail doesn't work. And I just like hurt my heart because we know, that if he had said, "Okay, I've got a budget for 1,000 cards, I can hit 100 people 10 times," he would have gotten much better results because he would have had an opportunity to build up that awareness and build that consistency, recognizability. One time you're a flash in the pan. They can't even remember his name because they only saw it once. So if someone wants to start with direct mail, it is a long-term, you've heard this trite expression, but it is a marathon. This is not a sprint. This is not you're not going to go viral through direct mail. This is going to be building, establishing yourself in a neighborhood over time. How many should they be sending? Are recommended, if we look at Elite and the number of cards that we require through Elite, it's 250. Well, why is that? Well, that is kind of a general number that we see it takes to get effective in a neighborhood so that you can build results. And if you're mailing fewer than that, yes, you're making impressions, but you're not necessarily letting the rule of averages work for you, especially considering the turnover rate in that neighborhood. If you're at whatever the turnover rate is, think of how many available opportunities there are. And if you're sending fewer than 250, it's almost like, why bother? We don't want to discourage anyone who only has a budget for 100, only has a budget for 50. Those impressions are valid and they do count, but you're not spreading yourself out enough to really start that momentum working in your favor. Okay, here's a good one. Are our top agents sending to everyone in a farm, or are they using targeted demographic lists based on most likely to sell? We've seen both. So we have had people say direct mail doesn't work, and I've sent to this neighborhood for years. I've never gotten any responses. And this is where, in many cases, we'll have them work with you. We don't have the data. You have access to different data resources, Revo Gateway, Walking Farm, all the different groups that you work with. And we will tell them, "Hey, look at your farm. What's the turnover rate there? How long have people been living there? What's the equity value?" Another good one, and I don't know if you have access to this or if they would need to go into like the MLS and see, but what's the market share? Is there another top agent working that area that has 25% or more market share? And if so, that's a harder market to break into because someone is dominating. So ideally, they're going to work in a farm that maybe someone has 10%, maybe someone has 5%. You've got lots of people with listings all over the place and it's not dominated by one agent. And then that turnover rate, we used to say 5% was an ideal target, but people are not moving as often as we know. And so 3% now is kind of the ideal. And if we can hit that 3%-ish mark for turnover rate, that's kind of the new goal for turnover. But back to that idea, that's sending to everybody in a farm area. Is it better to send to everybody or is it better to send to just the most likely to sell? I'll just share this little anecdote and let you sit with it. But we heard of someone who was only sending to the most likely to sell, and they got a card from someone because they were looking to potentially sell their home and asked their neighbor who had been there, was not on a most likely to sell list, if they had heard of the person that they received a card from. The neighbor did not receive the card because they were not targeted. The neighbor said, nope, never heard of them. The person said, okay, I'm going to go with somebody that my neighbor recommends. Okay, interesting, right? Neighbors have influence. And when you are trying to build up in a neighborhood, I'm not sure the best strategy is to skip. And the other part of that is the neighbor may not have, they may not be listing, but they may have influence over their neighbor. And they may have kids, they may have referrals, they may have et cetera. So anyway, just some food for thought. Okay, I got 3 minutes. And I'm not going to get through this because I got a lot of juicy stuff here. I'm going to talk really fast and you can follow up with questions. So the other thing they're doing, single call to action. You probably know we launched the ability to have 2 different QR codes, the home estimate and their own URL. Best practice that we're seeing is getting the best results. Just use one. Because when you're directing consumers, check out your home value, go sign up for my webinar, call me for a free market evaluation. It's decision paralysis, too many choices. One call to action we see is getting better results, a single call to action, than multiple. So that would be our recommendation, and our best practice is on our cards, pick one. Pick either the QR code, pick the home estimate. And by the way, next month's webinar, which you can sign up for, is going to be diving deep into the home estimate. So if you have questions about that, we'll go into that next time. And then following up. When you get that scan, when they sign up and they get the scan and they see that people are replying, then following up with it. So, I got a Corefact lead. Great. Okay, but what's the next step? Are you extracting those and moving those to a follow-up list? Are you doubling down on those? Are you reaching out to them? One thing they can do, because a lot of times if they're using a Corefact list and they see that they've got responses, all they have is the name and address. Many of you have resources to fill in data with phone numbers and emails. Let them know that. Let them know that if they get a response from a Corefact mailing, that you can help them take it to the next level. And obviously, there may be a fee involved, but just let them know what that is. But you can help them with their follow-ups. And at the end of the day, I think what are the stats? If you have to follow up 5 times, and most people don't follow up enough. I mean, whatever those stats are, but follow up does matter. It does lead to conversations, and I think it's super, super important. So that is the last thing that I see them doing. Really quickly, with my 1 minute left, I'm going to share my screen, and then I will stay on for questions if people have them. But it is Q3. Can you believe it? And we have launched for all of you. Oh, it's not posted yet. They didn't post it. Hang on. I know it's in my Slack. You're all going to see my Slack for a second here because you need to see this. It is in the channel right here. Okay. This will get posted in that section super, super quickly. For anyone that you are referring through your portal, however you refer, and some of you have different methods of referring. So if you're confused what that is, let me know and I can answer for you. But when you refer through your portal, not when they come to corefact.com, these are the Q3 promo codes that you have available to you to share with them. Number 1, a free follow-up card. This is a single card that we send out when someone hits that, scans the either home estimate or the agent's custom URL, so they can get a free follow-up card. This is usually $5, so they can try it for free. And they can use all of these. They're all one-time use. 200 postcards for $99. That is a tremendous deal. Or 50% off our 6-page foil brochure. That's the one with the amazing varnish. So these codes, I will email you all a copy of this in the follow-up to today's webinar. But these are the Q3 promo codes. They only get to use them one time. You can share them with as many people as you want, but they're only valid for people who you've referred through the portal that you refer through. Okay, I did it in 1 minute over. Oh, okay, that was my goal. Thank you so much for those of you who stayed on. I will stay on and answer questions because that was a lot of information, super, super fast. All right, thanks everyone. Have a great, happy 4th, and I'll catch you next month.